So let's allow our body to be as comfortable as possible. Relax, nothing to do. Simply being present to the totality of the now experience. Noticing, if the mind is very busy, it's good to stay with the breath for a bit. So the breathing process. Also, we can be open to the making a freestyle without focusing on anything particular, being present to the fullness of this moment. So there are sounds appearing, inner sensations, feelings, and thoughts. Bubbling in and out all day. And usually we are identify with the bubbles. We are each thought that comes along. We are each feeling. This special time right now, just watching these thoughts without escaping into the past or future. Allowing any energy, sensation, feelings, even if it's uncomfortable. Being present to sounds like a cat. Without analyzing, trying to change. Being aware, yet not involved with the waves. If the mind is very busy, which often it is at the beginning, it's hard to stay in the now. Use the breathing awareness as an anchor. Staying present, the inhale, exhale. Whenever you catch yourself, there is some thought and you were, let's say, ensnared in it without even being aware of it. But then you become aware you're in a thought. Just gently notice how this just fades away. The thought naturally dissipates. And there's just this non-conceptual aware being here. So use this little exercise experiment to observe the current thought, how it dies away, like a wave reaching a shore. We are not trying to kill it. Just notice how, like the sound of the cars, they're here and then they die away. But something remains. Not too interested in the thoughts, not fighting them. The state of being where we don't stick to them. Having thoughts is not an obstacle to being conscious. Trying to have thoughts is a stressful, futile battle. It's a misunderstanding. Notice also as the thought leaves you, that there is the space in which the thought appeared and disappeared. Recognize that which remains, which is there prior to thought, during and after. This sense of empty, open, all welcoming, like a stage. Yet it is conscious. It's a conscious, whatever that is, that we are. So instead of being enamored and fascinated with the thoughts, memories, instead of being involved trying to control them, open your attention and be curious and interested in this, which is hearing these words right now. Notice his thoughts. Yet it is not a thought. But initially, the mind is trying to figure this out, like trying to label it or having thoughts about this. And that doesn't work in a way that the mind, which is thoughts, cannot know the perceiver of thoughts. So rather than trying to figure this out, just noticing our experience. And sensing this sense of aware being, this presence, that is. without which we couldn't describe anything. This is not something we are trying to create, to reach this conscious presence, to build it, to attain it. It's more a question of recognizing what is already here, is that whatever it is, which is noticing the breathing, the traffic, that which is aware of sensations in the chest or the belly. So recognizing it, or it recognizes itself, and simply resting here. Let go of making any spiritual effort, meditation effort. This being aware, of self-remembering, self-abiding is way much simpler than we think it is. It's so simple it deludes us. Focusing attention on something is detrimental to this awareness recognition, because what we focus on is something. We are interested in that which is looking, that which is focusing attention, not in some sensation or shape or thought. Relaxing the aperture of attention. It's much more like you get to an island vacation and you finally get there and sit on the beach. It's like a, ah. The only difference is that usually when we do that on the vacation beach, like also drifting, and we are lost in the past and the future. So we are not going with past and future thoughts. Yet it's fine if thoughts arise. We can play with the attention in a way that See the difference between focusing attention on the actual sound. Notice the sound. See the sound is impermanent. Now, notice this aware silence, which allows for the sound to be heard. So be interested in that in which the sound flows through. Be interested in the awareing. So allowing ourselves to just be. Now turn your attention towards the experience of the body. Which the eyes closed without memory, its various energies, currents, sensations, free floating in this aware openness, aware space. So notice the content, feeling, sensation, but also notice that in which they appear. And also welcome completely whatever energies are there, whatever, welcome them without trying to analyze or get rid of them. This way we mimic our true self, which doesn't say no to anything. Awareness doesn't say, oh no, this I'm not going to be aware of this. I'm not going to. Awareness just hears. There's no censorship. There's pain. There's no censorship. It's more some pattern of resisting, the ego pattern. It's an activity of I don't want this, and then there's resisting of what is already here. And actually resisting what is creates suffering. Strangely, in a way, the psychology of the resisting is that I'm resisting this to avoid suffering, but actually the actual resisting creates suffering. So try now the best you can, whatever is there in your body. Welcome it completely. If the body is already clear and transparent, there's nothing to do. Just be knowingly this aware presence. For the last couple of minutes, being present, allowing any random, whatever, thoughts, images, sounds on an equal footing, doing nothing special, doing nothing. Allowing ourselves to be knowingly what we already are. Notice perhaps the perfume of the peace of the background of presence, or at least some okayness. And we can gradually, ever so gently, without nothing else changing at all, can allow the eyelids to open. Play this experimenting with nothing actually changes. Allow this unfocused seeing happening by itself. Let's stay here for a bit, and just like before, the only thing changes is that we have a new channel in the mix, in the awareness mixing board, whereas visual. Doesn't mean that we lost presence. Presence is that which sees, which hears. No need to start thinking. Yeah, you can gaze around, but try to gaze like a baby, not interpreting, no association. If some association comes in the mind, just notice it, shift focus. this is actually a very important practice. It's so crazy we need to call it a practice because that's what babies do naturally. They're not practicing anything. But later, this becomes so foreign that we need to call it a practice. It's important for modern day. We're not monks. Is coming to just being present with eyes open, even for a few moments, a minute in our daily life, in between tasks, driving, resting as awareness in activity. The fourth way, they call this self-remembering. It's not intellectual, it's remembering about the being. So coming back to being instead of past, future thinking, controlling. And here, being aware of being. True, this we'll see actually more instead of seeing through the veil of plans and past and future. We're kind of seeing fresh. That's why many people get a bunch of drugs to kind of see fresh. And it's beautiful. And it's here. It's real. It's. Beginning, it seems like an effort, but then it becomes, we start to love it more and more. And it's calmer and it's more simple. We are not missing our life, basically. Because no matter what we are going to do, the body is going to die. So why not be present to the remaining time? Make everything better. Yeah, so it's a recommendation to, formal meditation, closed eyes we've done, that's very important because for most of us, that's the only time we stop. And even when we do that, we stop, but the engines are still churning for another 15 minutes. So take some more time to have a little. So that's important. But it's equally important to have this just breaking the inertia momentum of mechanical efficiency. We will call it in the fourth way, this pattern of mechanical efficiency, rushing, hurrying, bypassing the present, and to take a mini island of kind of checking in home for a moment.
It's reminding me of as a kid, like being in bed and not being able to fall asleep. You don't really think, you just see things. It's reminding me of